5 mistakes newbies should avoid when trying to wholesale houses. Hi, this is Ty, aka the Flip Man. A video that I probably should have done a long time ago, but here we are. Before I get into it, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notifications so you are alerted whenever I upload new videos and go live on YouTube, especially on the Flippin'Ar night, which is Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on my YouTube channel. So, 5 mistakes newbies should avoid when wholesaling houses. I still make mistakes. 14 plus years in the game as the date of this video, and I still make actual mistakes. I'm not afraid to make those mistakes because in most cases, now it has cost me money before, but that was me making mistakes on top of mistakes. and the greed factor of humans kicked in on me, and I got what I deserved. But for the most part, the only thing will happen is some embarrassment. Embarrassment is free, and you actually will gain some valuable experience because you will know how to handle a similar situation if it arises again the right way. So taking action is key, but don't be afraid to do so because of mistakes. But that's not what this video is about. This video here is to share some of the common mistakes. I came up with a few, and I just dwindled it down to the 5 that I thought was most common, either from my experience or some of the same questions I get from students and non-students on what their issues may be with when they're starting out, or even if they've already put things into motion. So, mistake number 1. Most students, and these are not in any certain order, I'm just going to take them in an order, but they don't have to be in this particular order. Even though I have videos to say this, and I know everyone doesn't sit there and watch all of them, even though I suggest that you watch all 200 plus of my videos, but most people don't do it. But I have videos pretty much on everything I'm about to talk about now, so I just decided to condense it into one video. Okay, calling title companies, calling closing attorneys. People think they need to get that in place first before they even start. But one of the things they need to get in place before they even start. I strongly advise against that because for a number of reasons. Number 1 is that in most cases, and well, normally when people get this information, they're getting it from a different source than me, because I never have advised that I'm aware of. But they're getting it from, I'm not hating on them because, and there's more than one way to do this business. But a lot of you all can verify what I'm about to say. But a lot of times they tell you to go ahead and get your team in place so you can start wholesaling, get your title company, your closing attorney, get a realtor on your team, blah, blah, blah. None of that is important in my opinion to start out. You need to get in gear on talking to, speaking to, negotiating with as many sellers as humanly possible with your time and resources that are available to you, whether that's through marketing and or free methods of talking to sellers, which hopefully you're going to run into, and you will run into some motivated sellers, which will turn into deals. But they'll say, get your title company and closing attorney. So people start calling title companies, and you're trying to explain a process to them, and then you don't even know who you're getting on the phone for real. Even though you say, can I speak to blah, 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 I want to close it, then they just transfer you to someone. So they may actually have done deals as far as wholesale transactions, but the person that they transfer you to has no clue about it. I can assure you that a lot of that goes on. Even right now, 14 plus years in the game as the date of this video, if I call title companies in Birmingham, Alabama, I'll get some that say they don't know, this is something you can't do. You need a real estate license. It's illegal. I could call so-called real estate attorneys, and they would tell me the same thing. Some of them would tell me the same thing. That's just the way it is. Instead of them saying, I don't know what you're talking about, their automatic response is going to be, it must be illegal. You can't do this. You need to do this, or you need to do that. But instead of them saying, I don't know, they'll give you the it's illegal spiel because they're supposed to be experts. Just say, I don't know. You know, I don't know everything. You know, I've been doing this stuff a long. I don't know everything. If something comes across me, I said, I don't know. I've never experienced that. That's going to be my normal response, because there's a lot of smart people out there that take advantage or are able to take what's available to us as far as the laws and use it to their faith and stand within the law, which that's not really the case here because we're only talking about assignment of contracts. But my point is that whenever you pick up the phone, you call these title companies or closing attorneys, don't do that. Just wait till you have a seller, wait till you have a buyer in place, and in most cases, you'll piggyback off the buyer's relationship that he already may have with a title company or a closing attorney. Because even if you once you close the deal, and they're going to try to satisfy their client, okay? And so assume you close the deal. Now, if need be, you can go back to that title company or a closing attorney, even if that buyer is not involved, and close the deal because they know what you want, and you'll know who to actually call and speak to at that particular title company or closing attorney's office. So boom. All right, so now mistake number 2. All right. When people start talking to sellers, and I'll have people that just follow me, as far as when I say just follow me, but I actually got in my training, and when they start to speak with them, well, let me actually quote here. Mistake number 2, trying to explain wholesaling to sellers. That's mistake number 2. All right. And they never heard me say that in the training. They never heard me even approach a seller in that format that, hey, I'm going to find a buyer for your property, blah, blah, blah. Because that's not how it works. Well, they say you want to be transparent with the seller. Well, you can be. Nothing says you can't be, but you're going to lose more deals than you take on, because just like you're trying to understand this process, in a lot of cases you spend hours trying to educate yourself about wholesaling, and you still have questions about it. Imagine trying to explain this to an actual seller in 5 minutes. They're not going to want to deal with you. The only thing is important. It doesn't matter where the money comes from. The people say this is unethical. Who has the ethics rule book? It's just not normal or custom what people have been doing. They don't care. If you say you're going to pay this amount for the property and you perform, they do not care where the money comes from. Once you sign that purchase and sales agreement, you are saying you're going to buy it. Again, that contract does not prevent you from assigning or double closing, but I always assigning that contract over to a cash buyer who wants the actual property. But don't make the mistake of trying to explain wholesaling to a seller. Only thing they need to know is you pay cash for properties as is. You normally close in 2 to 4 weeks. That pretty much answers all of their questions. All right, mistake number 3, and I did this myself when I started, asking realtors for advice or help when you're starting out. You don't need, especially now, even when I started 14 years ago, the internet wasn't what it is now in the sense of all the information about, just real estate sites, values, and properties and all that stuff. It was good, but it's not where it is now. And even in the course that I originally listened to, he said, you're going to, even though I'm telling you not to do it, you're going to still go ask your realtor friend or somebody that's a realtor about wholesaling, and they're going to tell you it's illegal. And I did exactly that. It only did for me is confirm that the guy knew what he was talking about. You know, that's all the thing it did for me. But people do it. I get students and non-students that are saying, "Oh man, I met this realtor today. They called me so they can send me properties." They're not doing anything special for you. Not now. 15, 20 years ago, yeah, they had a real place as far as being able to send you properties because they're the ones that controlled it all. Now, anything that's listed on MLS, for the most part, it's online already, either on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, and the other sites, because they post them there because those are great places for them to market and advertise their listings. So when they send you something, it's nothing that you couldn't have pulled up yourself. Now, if you don't have the time, you just want to send me stuff, that's fine. There's no big deal about that. At the end of the day, you're still going to have to do your due diligence. But if you're going to deal with realtors, there's a game that needs to be played there that doesn't work the same when you're dealing with a private individual. I have a video on that. Can you use realtors to wholesale houses? So you want to go through that particular video. So that's mistake number 3, asking realtors for advice and help. Mistake number 4, targeting areas where you only want to live, either where you live or would like to live. All right, that's mistake number 4. One of the first things I learned from another guy locally here that I used to go to some of his, I guess you would say, mini seminars. I think he did it once a month or whatever. And his statement was, every house is a step up for someone, which simply means wherever you live right now, for a lot of people, it would be a Taj Mahal. It would be like living in the White House, as good as you can get, living in Manhattan or something. Okay. But for others, it wouldn't be good enough. You see what I'm saying? Because it can always go, you could always step up. I don't care who you are, you can always step up. So with that being said, and to break that down even more, you can find the worst house in what you think in your market. And I can assure you I could go there, go find a homeless person and say, hey, here's the deed to this property. This is yours now. And they would take it. And so don't get caught up into, I only want to do deals where I live. Now, that's up to you if you want to do that, but you're cutting off a huge part or a lot of opportunity by thinking that way. So be open to getting outside of your comfort zone is basically what I'm saying, to be able to do deals and more deals. You can do deals where you live and where you would like to live, but don't let that be just what you want to deal with. Again, you do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you, you're cutting off a lot of opportunities only thinking that way. All right, mistake number 5. Newbies, some people even experience, think they need, well, I guess they don't have that much experience, they haven't done a deal, but think they need an actual buyer's list before they start. Now, there are 2 schools of thought on this, and I just recently did a video on this, but it's not hard to give away money, guys. You'll hear me say this. If you follow me, you're going to hear this 1,000 times. It is not hard to give away money. Right now, if I found a $10 million property, an ARV with an ARV of $10 million, and I can get it for $5 million, I can move it just as fast. If it was $50,000 and I can get it for $10,000, I can move it just as fast. No, number one, because I can open up the entire country on some price like that. But you're giving away money, and make 500 to $1 million off of it. You know what I'm saying? So people that want to make money and they have the cash and resources to do so, they will be begging you for great deals. Now, if you don't have a great deal and you're marketing the property and you're not getting great feedback, a couple of things have happened there. Because what you'll do is you find a great deal, you advertise it, your great deals will build a buyer's list. But if you're not getting the response and you think you're doing an effective job of marketing and making that property available through whatever channels, online or offline, if you're not getting calls, then your market is spoken that, hey, you probably didn't negotiate an attractive enough deal as you needed. Now, if you market a property and get a lot of calls, then that works in your favor, but also you may not have been asking more enough. You may have left some money on the table. But I'd rather have that problem than versus people not calling at all. And because the next time you go, and especially in that area, you'll know what to do. Because some of it, I can train you and coach, and you can watch all these videos all day. Some of it, there's no way for anyone that can train you on what your market will bear as far as buyers and their perception over one neighborhood versus another. I have neighborhoods here that, in my mind, because I'm over there dealing in them, they're the same thing. But perception-wise, as far as a lot of the buyers I deal with, one neighborhood is better than the other, and they're the same thing. But again, I can't spend someone else's money. You just have to go with what's being put before you. So there you are. So just to recap, the 5 mistakes newbies should avoid. Number 1, calling title companies, trying to get them to say, hey, yeah, we do double closing or assignments, or we do wholesale transactions. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, trying to explain wholesaling to sellers, trying to get them to understand the process. That's mistake number 2. Mistake number 3, asking realtors for advice and or help. You don't need them. You really don't need them. With all the free information out there, you don't need them. Now, if you're going to target those type of properties, you just contact the listing agent directly, but you don't need your own actual agent, in my opinion. Mistake number 4, targeting areas where you would either live or would like to live. Remember, every house is a step up. You're leaving a lot on the table if you're afraid to get outside of your comfort zone. And mistake number 5, you think that you need an actual cash buyers list before you start. You don't. That's the easier part of the two between sellers and buyers. You spend the majority of your time in this business trying to find deals and trying to find great deals. The buyers will come. You build it, they come. It's one of those scenarios. So there you are. Those are the 5 mistakes newbies should avoid whenever they're trying to wholesale properties or start out trying to wholesale properties. I said there were more, but these are the ones that I thought were most important. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the notifications so you are made aware of my new videos whenever they're uploaded. Don't forget the 200 plus videos I do have here on YouTube that anyone can access and take advantage of and start wholesaling houses with no cash or credit. Follow me on Instagram, flipman.net. Follow me on Twitter, theflipman. You can call or text me about my courses and coaching. Or you can go to flipman.net for more information there. If you want a free copy of the contract that I've used for more than 14 plus years now, text the word contract to 313131. Text the word contract to 313131. You need proof of funds. You can simply go to realpof.com. If you're going to get a real estate agent, it's the only way they're going to take you serious. You must have proof of funds. Realpof.com. Enter your phone number. Next page. Keith Yackett will explain the process. Enter your information, and boom, you're in. It'll give you pricing and what's available. So again, and obviously privatemoneylist.net also. The name speaks for itself. Privatemoneylist.net. So thanks again. Those were the 5 steps, 5 mistakes for newbies to avoid when trying to wholesale. So thanks again, and I will see you on the flip side.